Oh, what the hell? My whole screen went black.
Why?
I don't know. Did yours go black?
No, I still see you
No,
freaking out.
Yeah, same.
I've never witnessed a
Oh, there
panic
we go.
attack, but I think that's what it looks like.
There we go.
So how are you going to record
Well,
audio?
it's gonna get
It
ripped
says
from
that
the
we're
video.
live on YouTube, right?
We are. Yeah, we're gonna have to rip the audio from a video.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, man, our shit is switching fast.
What do you mean?
Like it switches every time one of us talks. But Manny's breathing really loud, so it keeps switching to him breathing.
I'm breathing loud?
Or you're fidgeting or something. It's switching really fast. All right.
Maybe the
Does it
air is
still hear
hitting?
me?
I don't know.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Do I sound better now?
Joshua Diaz says, "Hey Dean, hey bro."
Oh, that's my brother.
Hey.
Where's he
Dude,
on?
I miss that guy.
Wow. Thanks for the hey bro to Zach, Joshua. I'm just kidding.
Where's he at? How'd you read
In the
that?
chat. I just opened up another window and put them side by side.
Wow, that's fancy.
Only the
I think I
fancy-
could do that on my iPad. I just don't know how.
All right, Dean, you ready? Man, you ready?
Yeah.
Manuel.
Oh, in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, in the YouTube chat.
Damn it, my phone's at 20%.
Is your iPad charged?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Dang.
All right. Let's get the show on the road.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. I'm Dean. This is Manny. Let's get it going. Just totally ignoring that.
The way that. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Dean, do you want to take your rip before we get started?
Tell me if you can hear this.
Yes. Sounded like
still
Darth
hear that?
Vader. Yeah.
Did you just say Dark Vader?
No, I said Darth Vader.
It's a Dark Father.
You're a fake fan.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Manny.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. This is the weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting. We want to thank our friends over at Watto's Scrapyard for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. They make 3D printed parts for hard-to-come-by Kenner and Hasbro vehicles, so check them out on Facebook. You can find them on Facebook by searching Watto's Scrapyard, and on eBay, same username, to complete the vehicles in your collection today. If you make a purchase through their Facebook, tell them that Collecting Weekly sent you, and you will get 25% off your full.
Dang, that's a good deal.
That's a really good deal. I almost felt guilty when he said 25%. So, Sean,
Dude, and they
thank you
make
so
awesome
much.
stuff, man.
They do. They sent us some cool keychains. I actually have all of you guys' keychains here today.
Hell yeah.
As you can see, we're doing a Google Hangout today. And the reason we're doing that is it's supposed to be end of the apocalypse weather down here in San Antonio and hailing and thunderstorms. And it's just probably safer for everyone to record at home.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So
See
bear with us as we tempt the technological gods for today's podcast. So we've gotten a lot of traction on our March Madness, Dean and Manny.
We inspire
It's
generations.
been going pretty good. It's funny. I know Manny says that maybe it's just a coincidence, but this is the first time I've ever seen like a collecting March Madness for anything. And conveniently, like the week after we did ours, SDCC announced their Sweet 16, and Sideshow's doing a Sweet 16, or not a Sweet 16, a March Madness bracket. And it's interesting. I think that we're having some ripple effect. What do you guys think? I know, Manny, you were saying that that's not what happened. But I tend to believe that we're inspiring generations of people.
No, I don't. I think it's, it's March. Everybody's going to have this idea. That's just me, though.
But they've never done it before.
Exactly. And I know, Manny, you were saying like, oh, this is SDCC. They probably had this plan for a while. It does not take that long to make a bracket, like a graphic. It took me 20 minutes. I'm just glad that we got ours out when we did, because if not, then we might seem like the copying party. But so basically, we started with 64 figures, and we're down to the Sweet 16. So the matchups that we have now are the DX11 Dark Knight Joker versus Anakin Skywalker. Then we have Superman MMS 152, which is the Reeves Superman versus Thanos. Really, really good.
Oh, Reeves Superman beat who was he up against? Doctor Strange?
No, DX05 Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Who's Superman against?
Thanos.
Oh, okay.
That guy. We then have DX07 Luke versus the Mark 47 diecast. And then finishing out the Western Conference is Yondu versus Doctor Strange.
Yondu.
So on the East, we have Marty McFly from Back to the Future 2 versus Jack Sparrow.
Shit.
And that's a really good matchup, too.
Yeah.
And both of those figures have beat some pretty impressive figures to be here. The Mark 46 diecast versus Civil War Captain America, so a Civil War rematch, which is pretty flavorful. We also have the Hulkbuster versus Manny's favorite figure, the DX09 Batman 89. And finishing it off, we have the Mark 6 diecast versus Homecoming Tech Suit Spider-Man. The bracket is closing. I think it's closing on Monday, so 6 days from now. And then we'll be left with our Elite 8. And each week we'll talk about the matchups that impressed us the most. But yeah, some pretty good stuff. The Tech Suit Spider-Man beat out the DX13, I believe, the Battle Damage Terminator, by 1 vote.
Really?
So if you think that your votes don't matter, it's 1 vote out of like many that decided it. So that is really cool. Now, we just got our first sculpt shipped with the Sebastian Shaw group buy. If you're on stream, this is the head sculpt here. And man, you were poking fun at me. I have a lot of anxiety about shipping stuff, especially when it's
hilarious, bro.
So let me give a quick rundown of the 2 times I've had to ship.
What's a rundown? Just kidding.
A rundown
Office,
like this?
Office.
There you go. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Good for you, Manny. So the first time it was shipping my lightsaber handles to Canada, and the guy said, "Get a bubble mailer. It should be like less than $2. Ship it to me. Everything will go great." And I got to the post office and I saw 3 different employees, because the way it works is like if you have to fill out forms, you go to the back of the line, fill out your form, get back in line.
Right.
I filled out 3 different customs forms. The first guy said, "Oh, this is the wrong form." Second guy, "This is the wrong form." Third guy, "This is the wrong form." I ended up getting back to the first guy. He's like, "Okay, this is the right form, but it's going to be like $40 to ship a bubble mailer." And I'm like, "It's going to Canada. I don't need tracking. I don't need insurance. $40." I ended up going to like another post office, and I Googled it. Said there was this post office in the shopping center. Never heard of it. And this post office is legitimately inside of a flower shop. Like it's a flower shop, and then like the next corner over is in the same room is the post office.
Is it USPS or
USPS? Yeah, USPS. And they're like, "Yeah, we can't ship international here. We just do like local United States mail."
We actually just send mail to the flower shop.
Yeah, right? So
we save tons on postage.
Yeah. I go to the third post office. And same thing. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I don't even need these stupid sabers to be lit. I don't even care anymore. So I went to the UPS store, and they're like, I don't know why they're giving you that much trouble. It was like $1.60. They shipped it. Boom, fine. Second time, basically the same thing. But this guy really wanted this item, so I paid. It was pretty expensive. It was like $80 to ship a package to England. Now this guy did want it tracked and insured, so that postage.
Oh, but he paid all that.
But yeah, he paid for that. It was for a Captain Antilles. Basically, like
I wanted that. You sold it?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. And
I'm just kidding.
Right. I was like, oh, it was a long time ago. And he wanted it, and it was even with the $80 shipping, it was less for him to pay for that and to get mine than to buy one overseas in England. And but that was still a hassle. So I have to ship out 5 of these Sebastian Shaw head sculpt for England, and I am not looking forward to it at all. So Manny was joking with me.
Tell him why.
I just did tell them why. So Manny was saying like things that are scary, and he was putting like The Exorcist, the doctor's office, Momo, and then the post office. So I go to the UPS store today, and I explain my situation, and I know the owner. She's a really wonderful person. And she's like, well, we can ship that method. And I'm like, well, the last time I was here getting a quote, you guys couldn't.
Oh, so, my. Are you peeing?
Dean, are you okay? You're over there fidgeting and eating ice. We're an internationally syndicated podcast, and you're
I think he was peeing. He was on a pee break.
Treating this like a night out at the movies.
I'm peeing in a cup. I don't want to get up.
Okay, so she's like, we can ship that way. So I buy a 4x4 box, and I tell her I'm gonna buy a 4x4 box. She measures it, and it's like it's gonna be $80. I'm like, what the hell? We just went through this. Like, it should not be $80. Turns out, for whatever reason, cube boxes don't qualify for that lowest rate shipping. And we ended up shipping a box that was like twice as big, but not a cube. And it was like $18. And then after the box and the packing material was like almost $26 and totally reasonable. I mean, I sent a, stuff last week, parts in the United States, and it was like $12. So, with tracking and insurance. So definitely, I think I can put my fear of shipping internationally to bed. And it's funny because Manny, you were like, dude, just go there and do it. And Dean, you too, because you shipped a sculpt and it was like no hassle at all.
Yeah.
I was extremely jealous. But yeah, so the first Sebastian Shaw head sculpt is on its way. The rest are going to be sent as people pay their postage because I ain't fronting no one for that. So that's that. Now, we do have a Sutton phrase of the week. Like I mentioned, Dean, we are an international podcast, and we do cater to our international audience. So the Sutton phrase of the week is the dog's bullocks. So
dog's balls.
I would say let's not have you guys guess this for everything that I say, but casually sprinkle it in, and I will tell you if you are right. Please do not cheat. And Google it. That would not be fun. But Dean, it's time for our first segment of the podcast. Kick us off, brother.
New this week. Anything you pick up new this week? It was a really slow week for me, but my plug came through, and I was able to get.
Oh wait, I'm sorry,
Manny. How dare you?
I'm so sorry.
No one talks about that.
Sorry.
I was able to pick up Play Arts Kai, Final Fantasy VII, as you know, is my favorite. Eris Gainsborough. She's actually still on pre-order, but my plug got them early, and she's in the mail. So
very nice.
I haven't got her yet, but she will be here probably in a week or two.
Nice.
And let's see. I think that was it. I think that's all I got this week.
What'd you get, man?
Anybody?
Only this big son of a bitch.
Ooh.
Oh,
dude, he's so big. That's what she said. It's beautiful. Like,
dude, that gold looks crispy.
Gold. Yeah, dude. The lights kind of stink, but I mean, I'm not always gonna have it on, so I'm probably gonna take out the batteries, even though it was a son of a bitch putting them in.
Turn it on. I want to see it.
The lights.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, go ahead, and now I'll turn these lights on.
Yeah, so Manny's holding the Thanos.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so that was one of our critiques. Was someone mentioned like, oh, if you guys are holding a figure, I think we're so used to being on stream now that we forget to mention it. But Manny's holding the new Hot Toys Big Scale Thanos, and it looks incredible. We got the lights going here on stream, and that looks beautiful. Jesse is obviously not joining us today. Had some tech issues on the stream. But we miss him with all of our hearts, and he will be back next week. But for me, new this week, I picked up the Toy Box Hero from Big Hero 6.
Oh, hell yeah.
Really fun figure. Dude, they had, when I went, none of the cool characters. It was like nothing but sort of like those lesser known, not really lesser known, but you could tell like the online, the ones that sell out really quick. At the store, they just had like a bunch of like leftover stuff.
Right.
But I did find one hero way behind like a ton of other figures, and I picked that up. I also picked up a Megalodon figure from PNSO.
What mall did you go to, by the way?
Ingram, actually.
Ew.
Ingram. And you don't like Ingram?
No.
That's a hood rat mall.
Yeah.
I was doing hood rat things at the Hood Rat Mall, though. But I did also get the Funko. I'm not really sure what line it's from, but it was like a Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, and it's like a bobblehead. It's not a pop.
I've seen those at Target.
Yeah, they look really stylized. I think it's like a vinyl Playmate or something like that. And I think they look pretty cool for $15 for, the set of them. I'm very happy with that. And so that's what I got. Real quick, I did want to mention the listener special. Check it out if you have not. It's really good. It's 3 hours long.
It's so fun.
It's so fun. I guess I forgot to mention the show news, but Dean, your sister needs to come on ASAP. She was everyone's most favorite part.
In fact, she just ordered another statue, so she's got more stuff to talk about.
Ooh, I ordered my first statue, which we'll talk about later in the podcast. So let's talk about some new pre-orders. Obviously, Dean, you got your new PlayArts Kai. McFarlane has updated pics in like a little video format on Facebook of their Viserion. It looks insane. I'm over the moon that this is being made.
Does it come with 2 sets of wings, or
no? They're articulated. They flap, so it flaps all the way down and then all the way up, and the articulation looks pretty solid. I'm hoping that they put up some more pics of their Drogon, but I think it remains to be seen. It's kind of interesting, though. Drogon is actually, the wingspan is smaller than Viserion, like by, I think, like 2 or 3 inches. So, as all of us know now that Manny's seen it, Drogon is supposed to be like the biggest of the 3. So, can
I stop you really quick?
Sure.
So, there's this Funko Pop that I want. Now that we're talking about Game of Thrones, kind of. Can y'all guess which one it is? They just released them, actually, I think.
Daenerys riding Drogon?
No. It's they're all sitting on the throne, and I really want the Night King.
I saw all those.
Or Jon Snow.
They had all of them at the GameStop on the Quarry.
They're like $30, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, dude, I want one so bad. Like, okay,
go to the GameStop. They have them all at the. That was yesterday.
Noted. Thank you.
Nice. New releases also. The 6-scale Arya Stark has come out, and it looks amazing. It's 170 rooted hair. The sculpt looks really good. The accessories look really solid. What do you guys think?
She's my favorite character. I love it. It's cool.
Yeah, I have to get it because I have the Hound.
You have the Hound, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like when he first takes.
You have my Hound, actually. Give me that one, remember?
No, it's mine.
I want to spend a little bit of time on this, but Dean, I know you're a big 3 3/4 collector.
Yeah.
But the Jabba's sail barge from HasLab has released.
Dude, I'm so pissed I didn't get one. I could have gotten it so easily too.
Correct.
But apparently, there's a lot of issues.
Really? What issues are people saying?
People's paint apps are either like there or they're not. I saw Jabba with the same hand.
I've seen one of
the eyes, right?
Yeah,
the
eyes. People missing a figure out of the box.
Yeah, the yak face.
Yeah, just like little things like that, like little small like QC issues.
I would say overall, I follow Jedi Temple Archives. Most people seem to be getting, that I've seen personally, most people seem to be getting them in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
And I've seen a few reviews of this thing and a few people that I know that have them. This is really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I criticized the hell out of this when it was announced, and I got to eat some crow because I think they really nailed what they set out to make. I'm literally blown away by how good it looks.
Yeah.
It really takes a lot to wow me, but like I'm genuinely wowed by how good this is.
50 inches long. That's insane.
It's massive. It's incalculable like how expensive this thing is going to be down the line. Already it's commanding a price of $1,500 to $2,000 on the secondary market, so it's 4 times retail.
No.
In a way, it's annoying, obviously, but this is not a thing where they said like, hey, we're only making 500 of these, anyone that wanted one had a shot to get one.
Dude, and it was that whole like if you wanted one, sign up for one, pay up front or whatever. It was on for a long time. It felt like if it wasn't gonna get filled out, and I was like, oh my god, and it did. So
yeah, that's what turned me off about it. I was like, I have to pay up front. Forget it.
Yeah,
it was like you have like a year to pay it off. I would have done it, but then I was like, when I see these secondary prices, I'm like, why didn't I just go get like a small bank loan? That's so $500.
You sound like Donald Trump when he's like, I got a small loan of $1 million.
Right.
Yeah. I think $500. It's easy to get from a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you just go in there, you rob the bank. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That was weird.
I'm really upset that I didn't get it.
Do you have the space for it if you were to have gotten it, or would you make the space?
I would have made the space. I would have cleared up where I have my Falcon.
You would have put it on his bed and he was slept on the floor.
Right.
Yeah, hell yeah. Actually, I would have just sold my, right here, as you can see, my
Superstar
Darth Vader Superstar Destroyer and put it right there.
Isn't that what Zach wanted?
Oh, no, that's a Lego version. The one I wanted was like a model type.
Well, you told me if I sell it to let you know, and so did the other Zach. So
I would say let Spencer take a crack at it because
you mean
Rainer, Spencer. I got some big stuff on order, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But yeah, the sail barge looks insane. Now, the one thing that I will say, obviously, I said that I don't really mind people scalping it. I think it's a little greasy when companies like Big Bad Toy Store are scalping it. $2,000. I get it; it's huge. You're gonna have to ship it, but I just think that's a little greasy.
Shipping isn't $1,500.
Yeah, Toy Anxiety also has it for I think it was $1,400, which is obviously less than $600 less, but still, it's just odd because I feel like maybe they got it at a better price, or maybe they had I don't know. It just does not sit well. But
yeah,
they're doing what they're doing. The new Vader Dark Visions #1 comic book came out, and I talked to you guys about this a little bit, but I don't say this lightly, but it might actually be my favorite Vader comic of all time.
Is that the one you had with the sword and the shield?
Yeah,
the horse.
So in this comic, I won't really spoil it.
A space horse.
It is, yeah, right. Essentially, there's this race of beings, and they're not spacefaring, so they're limited to their planet, and they think that the gods above them are like fighting, is what they say. And essentially, in space, it's like the Empire and the Rebellion at war, but on the ground, it just looks like explosions in the sky, which is a pretty cool throwback to the deleted scenes from Episode 4.
Right.
And so, at some point in this battle, Vader is forced to land on this planet, and the beings think that he's a god. They call him like the Black Knight, and he does some crazy ass shit, and he's like revealed as a god when he's done, and it is just such a fucking awesome comic book. It is, and the thing is, like, all these books from this series, they're one shots. So it's like a beginning and an end of a story in one comic.
Oh, nice.
And, I love it. I hate waiting 5 months for a story to develop.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like 2, 3, 4 weeks apart. It's just a nightmare. Really good book. I highly recommend picking it up. It also has some pretty cool incentive covers. I think there's a 125 and then a 150th variant. I think I'm going to shoot for the 125 variant if it's on eBay, but it's definitely really, really good book. Now, speaking of comics, I know I ragged on a local comic book store for some bad customer service. So I think it's time to talk about some good customer service experiences. So nowadays, when you get a comic, it comes with a digital code, kind of like a movie these days.
Right.
Marvel.com/redeem, or if it's a DC comic, I imagine they have digital also. And you redeem your comic, and then it downloads to your app, and then you can read it wherever you go. It's awesome. I had picked up 6 comic books from this Age of the Republic line, which is, again, one-shot comics that are just fleshing out characters like Padme and Count Dooku and Asajj. And there's one for Obi-Wan, Anakin, Qui-Gon. And 3 of my 6 comic codes didn't work. They just said that they couldn't be redeemed, so I triple-checked them. Still didn't work. I ended up calling Marvel customer service, and and right away someone picked up the phone, which is really nice, especially for a company as big as Marvel. I explained the issue, and they gave me new code, like right then and there. It wasn't like, oh, send us a picture of your books. We're going to test the code to make sure you're not lying. It was a real honor system type of thing. But, within 5 minutes.
In that case, what's the number? I'm just kidding.
Right. It was really cool. And I got to give them props because I was really annoyed. And it's something I'm not I'm pretty new to it. So it's like, who do you call? Do you call your comic book store and do they just get a book and give you the code? Do you call the distributor? Do you call Marvel? And I just ended up calling Marvel, and it worked out really well. It was really awesome. I was surprised that someone answered. I thought I'd be on hold for like an hour and dealing with transfers and this and that. And it was very, very
Thank you for calling Disney World. Hang
Right.
on 1 second while we transfer your call.
Thank you for calling Sideshow. Anyway, so that was really cool. Chronicle Collectibles also really excellent customer service. Essentially, I had been on a wait list for this item, and I was in the wait list since I think June of last year. And in January, they called me and said, you're up on the wait list. If you want to purchase this item, we can make your order a real order. And I declined because at that time, I just wasn't really sure financially I could swing the item. And I have been regretting it since. And so I called Chronicle this week and spoke with Heather. She's the customer service rep over there. Super amazing. And we talked, and I explained my circumstances, and they made some exceptions for me. And I have my first statue ever coming on a payment plan. So I'm really excited. Now, I love Jurassic Park. Like, it is my absolute favorite book I've ever read. I read it twice when I was a kid. And this year, not this year, like from like the last 12 months, I've probably read the book like 5 times. It's so good. And I listen to the audiobook, so I just listen to it when I'm driving, and it's just a really good book. The T-Rex in particular is, like everyone else, my favorite character of the book and the movie. And Iron Studios, they make a really cool line called their art series, which is 1/10 scale. And they made a 1/10 scale T-Rex, which is massive. And I have it coming. So hopefully around June, I think it'll be in my possession around my birthday, Father's Day anniversary. Nice. And I am very excited about it. They're in Texas, so the shipping actually wasn't that bad because it's a 1/10 scale T-Rex, which is like 36 inches long. So
damn, I was about to ask how long I was going to be.
So it's 36 by 18 by. They said it was 23, but that doesn't really make any sense.
Where's that going, bro?
I need to figure it out, but I have that. You guys know my office where I have the printer. There's a windowsill. I'm going to clear that off, and that's probably going to be where it's going to go.
That's what I was thinking.
Or I'm going to get rid of my desktop and put it on the desk because I feel like it needs to be like a prominent thing in the collection. I'm really excited. Now, the reason why I wanted this, in addition to my love for the character, Dean, I think we had mentioned it. I don't know if it was last podcast or if it was off air, but you had asked me whatever happened with that T-Rex model kit I was building. Do you remember that?
It was a few podcasts ago.
Yeah, it was a few podcasts ago. And I have a recast, which obviously isn't the coolest thing ever, but Horizon makes a 1/15 scale Rex model kit, which is cast from Stan Winston's maquette cast. And this is a recast of those parts. It's roughly 1/18 scale, 1/20 scale. I've tried 3 years now on 3 different model kits. I bought 3 sets to build this model kit, and I think I'm finally at the point where I'm just like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. It's a terrible material to work with. It's like a soft vinyl, and it firms up really good, but when you heat it up with anything, it starts to get all squishy. It's just like the parts don't fit well together, and that's partly because of the recast. And I'm not that good at sculpting, but I tried Sunday for 3 hours to try to put it together for my daughter's birthday party this weekend, and I failed. And that's why Monday I was like, let me see if anything can be done with filling this waitlist item, and the list is special. I mentioned it with Dylan. Like that's one of the statues that I'd love to own. And Chronicle made a really cool breakout Rex statue, but the aftermarket price is insane. And I know the aftermarket price on this one would be insane. Sort of like what your sister said, when these things go aftermarket, they become ridiculously expensive. So I figured I'd jump on it when I can. And so I have my first statue coming. I'm really excited. You should tell your sister so that she can be proud of me, Dean.
Nice. Yeah, she's really excited to come back on.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited for that. So Manny, I know you mentioned you wanted to take over the DC rapport.
Hell yeah, I'm the new Batman in town. Hey. Boy. Now, obviously everybody's heard that Will Smith has been replaced by, help me say his name, Idris?
Idris Elba?
Idris. Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was Idris.
Yeah. I always say Idris.
I know him from The Office. He's the jerk. What's his name? I forgot his name on The Office. He's the one that doesn't like Jim. Charles, yes. He's like, did you get a from doing nothing or something? Dude. So I'm pretty excited about that. I mean, I know Zach really liked you really liked Will Smith's performance as Deadshot, but
I mean, both of them are excellent actors. This is not a downgrade by any means. Both of them can act off, I'm really excited. It's going to be neat, I'm glad that they didn't can the movie because Will Smith opted out,
Yeah.
I'm really excited. It's going to be neat.
Yeah, dude. So it's directed by James Gunn, and it's going to be called The Suicide Squad. The first one was called Suicide Squad, and it's like a light reboot. So I just don't know why they just didn't scrap the whole thing and start over completely. But
yeah, that's kind of odd.
Yeah, and then you guys haven't seen Aquaman, have you?
I have not. I think Dean has.
Have you seen
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yes, I loved it.
Okay, so you know those monsters that come out when they're on the boat, right? The trenches. They're like a creature of the Black Lagoon looking. They're like huge, like Aquaman, I guess you could say, fish, big fish.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So they're called the Trench. Apparently, they're making a horror film, and it's going to be based off of them. And it's a low budget film, $50 million, which is a good thing. And apparently, I don't know if there's going to be a cameo of Aquaman and the other chick, Amber Heard, but that's exciting. I'm pretty excited about that, a horror film. And the last thing is Ben Affleck had an interview with someone, and he mentioned that he's open to directing a future DC film, which is pretty cool.
How about his own Batman movie?
Yeah. I think one movie that would go good for him to direct, since he has been in a Superman suit before, is Man of Steel 2. We didn't get that one, so I think that would be a perfect move for him.
But is Henry Cavill out too, or no?
No. He's still in, from what I hear.
Okay.
So is Ben Affleck like actually a good director?
Yeah,
That's an honest question. I actually don't know.
He has a new movie, not new, but it was a recent movie, and oh my gosh, I can't think of the name, but it did really well. Like,
are you talking about Argo? Fargo?
I think so.
I think he won like Oscars for that. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like
where they're trying to. It's from the I think it's like Iran Contra or something like that, where they're trying to sneak people out.
Yeah, it was like critically acclaimed. It was like, so. I mean, this guy knows how to direct, apparently. So.
Wow, good for him.
Cool. Yeah, that's it for the DC Rapport, as you guys call it,
as Jesse calls it. So let's talk about. I know we talked about last podcast buying 6-scale figures intelligently, and there was one part that I cut out for time, but let's talk about it. So making an offer when you're buying a 6-scale figure. I know we mentioned loosely, like obviously go off of eBay sold listings, and subtract.
Or you can just ask the weekly chat. You can ask them.
Right, there you go. But that stuff is for figures that are complete and in perfect condition. Like that's kind of what we're going for.
Right.
But Dean, as you know, a lot of times figures aren't always perfect. Sometimes they're missing a box. Sometimes they're missing parts. Sometimes they're missing or have damaged parts, but they're still there. Or sometimes someone sold a head sculpt or part of an outfit. So how do you guys approach that situation? I just want to pick your brains, then I'll talk about how I approach it.
I legit don't, if it's missing something or if it's broken, I don't buy it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Manny, what about you?
Didn't you buy Obi-Wan loose?
Ooh, burn.
Yeah, but that was like
burn.
If I didn't get him like that, I wasn't gonna get him.
Damn, I got you. No, I don't. I mean, yeah, if it's broken, I don't think I'll buy it. But I did buy the Death Trooper from you, and it was broken. So
shut up. The Sisterhood of the Traveling.
Yeah, but buying from like your buddy down the street is different than.
Yeah, because you can take a look at it beforehand.
No, yeah, true.
Yeah, like Obi-Wan, that was Rick Solers. He's down the street.
Yeah.
My DX07 Luke that I got from Zach, that was a buddy down the street. But if I'm buying and shipping a figure from across the country and it's all fucked up, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah, no, you're right. I agree.
So
sorry, I had to defend myself for a second.
Yeah, so for me,
he had to sit up and everything. Man,
if a figure is missing a box,
let me go lock my door real quick.
Right. If a figure is missing a box, I like to take about $25 to $40 off the price of like the market price.
Right.
And I think that's pretty appropriate. I mean, most people will sell you a used box like Toy Anxiety. I think it's not for like $10, and then shipping's like another $10. So $25 to $40 depending on the box. Like if you're buying a DX07 with that massive box and all that art and packing and stuff like that, obviously you subtract a little bit more, closer to that $40 price range. Damaged parts, check Toy Anxiety, check Monkey Depot, check eBay Sold. And then basically just subtract accordingly. If they're...
Dude, I bought, when I first met Eric, I bought the 92 Batman. The gauntlet was broken, and it didn't have a box. And I didn't know Eric. Man, I'm just...
And now we were friends, and then now he left Facebook and doesn't talk to us anymore.
I like to think that he got snapped by Thanos. So
right. So that's how I do accessories. Is basically take Toy Anxiety, take things where you can find out how much it would cost to replace, and then subtract it. Some things you won't be able to find a price range for. So, for example, Dean, I'm trying to find the Death Trooper blaster to replace the one that I got you.
I could not find it.
I can't find it. It's not possible.
No.
So,
in fact, where is it?
Dude, everybody's saying how good Dean's camera is on the chat.
I bought this. I don't know if you could see this in the chat.
Dude, I was gonna buy that exact same thing.
Yeah, I went to it was a toy show and they had like just guns, and it was like $1 a gun, and I grabbed a handful of guns that I thought were Star Wars E. But if you could see, the handle's real short.
Yeah.
And the Death Trooper, like 3 of his fingers were off of the handle, and he couldn't like really hold it.
Yeah.
I can't use this thing.
So,
but yeah, I was looking for something like anything to replace the blaster, but
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, so some things you can't find, and then of course, like if a product is missing a head sculpt, that's usually a pretty big deal, you know.
Yeah, about 60 to 70 bucks off.
Yeah, I had it 50 to 80, but yeah, 60 to 70 is perfect. There's some head sculpts that are a little rare, like the Mark 47 head sculpt. I think Brian from Six Kill Scavengers sold his for like $95 for the head, the clean Tony Stark head. So
man, that's a dog's buttocks.
No, but I was kind of worried. I was like, man, did they forget the phrase?
I just don't know when to use it. So
now he also said you could substitute the mutt's nuts.
Oh.
So the dog's bullocks are the mutt's nuts.
Like that's the bee's knees. That's the dog's bullocks.
Well, Dean got
it. Dean killed it.
That's just what it sounded like to me. The bee's knees.
So yes. So let's take a short. Let's see what he said in his message. He said it pretty much means something is really good, the best you can get. And he said an example would be the Sebastian Shaw sculpt is the dog's bullocks.
Oh, okay,
dude,
cool.
We should have him record an audio file and
dude, that would be cool.
So that way, when you reveal to us, you actually have him saying it. You know,
ooh, that's an excellent idea, Manny.
Well,
Manny is a treasure trove. Excellent idea.
Well,
so that's concludes my art of the deal. I just wanted to help you guys be able to buy intelligently because I see so many times people say like, "Oh, I'm selling this Iron Man for $1,000, no head sculpt." Friends and family.
Friends and family only.
Buyer must pay shipping and fees.
500 shipped, or 500 shipping if enough.
Why? Right? Hold on. Let's go back to that. Why would you ever buy something friends and family from someone you have no idea? Like,
it's the worst idea I've ever heard.
Like, let me send this friend.
I don't even know why people suggest it. Like, I'm not gonna rip somebody off, but I also don't expect them to pay me F and F. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know you.
So the last item that I sold, the guy was wanting to buy some parts for me, which we'll talk about in a second. But he wanted to buy some parts for me, and he's like, "Oh, it's this price," and I was like, "It's like $5 shipping, whatever." And he's like, "Oh, and I'll pay your fees too." I'm like, "Wow, it's really nice." So I upgraded him to like 2-day shipping, and that's why it was a little bit more expensive. But I was shocked. I was like, "Wow, this guy's paying fees, and he's paying right away, and he's not asking me to hold it for like 2 weeks." Very impressed by that. It's funny. I've had times where people message me to buy a part. I usually sell like parts on the groups every now and again.
All the time.
And he was like, "Yeah, I want your Jin Urso blaster," and I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Well, it's $30 plus shipping." And I thought you were putting mascara on, Dean. It looked like your little microphone.
Oh yeah, it does.
And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I really want it." And he's like, "But," and he's like, "Well, how long do you need to get paid?" And I'm like, "Well, I mean, I can ship it tomorrow, so I'd like to be paid today." Or I might be able to ship it today. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, I kind of want it, but like, I don't know. I don't want it that bad. And I'm like, then why would you put a thread saying you want to buy the blaster? It's not like I put the thread up and he was, exactly. It was vice versa. He said he was looking to buy it. And I was like,
the Hound.
Yeah. And he was like, well, the price was a little higher than I thought. And I'm like, dude, it's the deluxe blaster from Jin Urso.
Yeah. It's not,
it's not like, yeah, exactly. So that was such an odd experience.
Call his ass out. What's his stupid ass name?
No, we're too kind here at Collecting Weekly, Dean.
No, you're too kind. I'm an asshole.
Dean, we're the mutts nuts here at Collecting Weekly.
Hell yeah, we are.
So before we get into Rate the Flicks, we wanted to thank our friends over at Watto's Scrapyard for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. They make amazing 3D printed parts for hard to come by Kenner and Hasbro vehicles. For some of the most popular ones that they have are the Kenner Y-Wing and the Hasbro Big Millennium Falcon, which they sent us some samples. So Dean, you need to come and check them out. They also make a bunch. Dean, they also make, and I tell you this because you have a lot of 3 3/4, an amazing aluminum backdrop for a Michaels baseball bat display case, which I think is like 3 3/4, and it looks incredible. It'll spice up your vintage or 3 3/4 collection. And of course, remember, guys, they're offering 25% off to any Collecting Weekly listener. Just send them a message on Facebook and tell them that we sent you. And for eBay, it's kind of complicated for coupon stuff. So just do it on Facebook if you can. Their Facebook is Watto's Scrapyard. Sean is an amazing human being. He hooked me up big time. We'll talk about it in Custom Corner. But Manny, let's hear your Rate the Flicks. You have seen a movie that's polarized the community, and I want to hear about it.
Yeah.
I have a Rate the Flicks too.
Okay. You want to go first?
No, you go first.
Okay.
Next week, I got a new this week too.
Right. No, I saw, as probably everybody else did, Captain Marvel. And a lot of people, I heard that was boycotting. No, don't boycott this film. This film is amazing. There is
a vitriol hate for this film. I think it is so silly.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get why people are so offended by. I mean, I get it, but the amount of threads, like just ugly, hateful threads, threatening even, that I've seen on this film in a lot of the groups, we won't have any of that on Collecting Weekly. It's too much.
Yeah, so it'll start as like someone who got to see the movie early and they're like, this movie's no good. So they try and spread that toxic, like to someone else, like, hey, don't, to everybody else, don't see it. It's not good, blah, blah, blah. You know me, I like to go into movies with an open mind. I don't listen to anybody. And I really liked it. It's not a perfect film, obviously. The beginning's a little slow. But as, towards the middle and then at the end, I had a blast watching it. The beginning credits had me, like, punched me right in the feels. I won't say what it is. I won't say
it was amazing.
I don't think it's a spoiler.
I knew immediately
Manny, don't tell me.
No.
You've hyped this up so much that I want to see it unbridled by spoilers.
No. So I won't spoil it. But I was sitting there, and right when the fanfare hit, dude, I was like, oh my god! Like, and the second time, a little tear did come out.
Yeah,
so,
dude,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Unprepared for what it was.
Yeah,
I was like,
I had no idea.
So, Manny, the theater experience is really important for you.
Oh my!
Tell me your story, and then we'll let Dean talk about his review.
All right. So there I am, right, sitting down.
Score, by the way, the scorer.
There I am, chilling, right? And this dude, like, the trailers are hitting. You know, it's almost like the last trailer, and I'm like, okay, nobody's sitting next to us. Cool. Well, this family of like 4 or 5 come and sit right next to me, and I'm like, cool. You know what? Whatever. Well, I guess this freaking stupid idiot had a cold or something. So he's like the whole movie, and then he's like sucks his snot up. He's like that went out through the whole 2 hours that I was there. I was pissed. And then he had a box of Milk Duds. And there was like, I guess
it's the loudest food to eat in a theater.
Dude, I was pissed off. So when he brings out those Milk Duds, he goes like, you know, he picks it up to his mouth and he goes, uh-huh. And then when he puts it down, he puts it down hard, like if he's like doing it on purpose. So I'm like, okay, this dude is pissing me off. Well, then he gets bored, and you know at theaters how they have some movie theaters have like a little like table swivel. Yeah, like it has so you can put your drink, and then if you need to get up, you move it. He got bored. Yeah, he got bored, so he started moving it, and it started like squeaking, and he was doing it real loud. And then he couldn't get comfy, so he couldn't like work his little on the chairs. There's like up down, so if you hit down, you know. So he started reclining his chair, and then like he couldn't get comfy, so he starts leaning on me, and I swear to God, his head was right here. He was breathing on my face as he's coughing and everything. And I looked at him and like, I'm not gonna say anything, obviously, because you never know if he has a gun or whatever. But yeah, he just like he looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, bro, like chill out. So there he is, finally. You know, I like kind of nudge him, and he moves the other way. Well, at the end of the movie, I'll never forget this because he couldn't get his little recliner seat thing to work. So this dude literally jumped up. He sprung in the air, and like all his crack was showing. It was the absolute worst. Also, to the left of us, next to my fiance, there was a family of like 3, and their light. You know, when you on your iPhone, how you can set like when you get a text message, your light flashes.
Right.
That was flashing through the whole movie, dude. And then, like, I expect her to just like put it in her pocket or whatever. No, she takes out her phone and starts texting. The light is super bright. Bro, I was pissed off. I couldn't even give my score, my famous score on Rate the Flicks.
Yeah, you were like, you guys need to wait. And I'm like, why?
Dude. So the movie actually gets an 8 out of 10. It's not a strong 8 out of 10 if that makes any sense, but it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
So right when we got out of that theater, I told my fiance, I was like, let's go to the Draft House, because at Draft House you can't do that.
There's no kids, right?
Yeah, no kids, and it's like you can't take out your phone. You can't, obviously you can cough, but you can't help that. But so I sped to the Draft House, and I had 2 free movie tickets for my birthday, because my birthday falls on a leap year and they never load it, so I always have to call them, and as a courtesy they give me an extra one. So I had 2 free movie tickets. I got them for Saturday, and we watched Captain Marvel for free.
So you were really born on February 29th, right?
Yeah, February 29th.
I have a gift for you, Manny. I want to show it to you before.
Hey!
I got Manny a Hot Toys Empire Strikes Back lightsaber hilt for his Luke. So, Manny, whenever I see you, happy birthday. So, Dean, tell us about your Rate the Flicks review.
Yeah, it's definitely not an AIDS.
Ooh. Now, hang on, Dean. Before you get started, I know you guys mentioned you might want to do a spoiler talk on YouTube separately from the podcast. Is that still possible?
Oh yeah. That's exclusively on the DJ Manny podcast. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You can do that. Yeah, that would be cool. But anyways, Dean, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah. The first half of that movie is super boring. It wasn't until Nick Fury showed up that I was like, all right, this is cool.
Yeah. I can't
super
disagree.
Predictable. I saw everything coming like a mile before it happened. The action's really good. The soundtrack is amazing.
Yep.
The CG on Coulson and Nick Fury's faces it's insane.
Yeah, it's almost
especially
the
how
de-aging,
long they're on camera, especially Nick Fury.
And I'm sure it's an expensive effect.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine. Brie Larson did okay. I was a little concerned that she was too dry sometimes, but she's a soldier, so I was like, oh, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. But I always like Brie Larson. She's in one of my favorite movies ever, Scott Pilgrim versus. Yeah, she's such a babe in the movie. Yeah, it's just dude. Yeah, I'm at like a 7. Like that's me being really nice.
Dude, I want to see it. I want to see it so bad.
I'm gonna
not
see it
because
again.
I care about the character, but I just want to not go into Endgame.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about the character.
Yeah, exactly.
So dude, I recommend it. Excited to see it.
I recommend you guys going to Draft House because they have like a brief history on, you know how Shazam was
Captain
Marvel. They have like I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, but they have like a history of it. It's pretty cool.
Speaking of Draft House, I'm actually really excited. I called them today, and on Tuesday mornings for certain showtimes and certain movies, they have like a kid-friendly showing where your kids can be somewhat loud during the movie. Yeah. And I'm gonna take a half day when The Lion King comes out and take my daughter to go and see it. I'm pretty excited.
Nice. Oh, nice.
But
I just have some concerns about this movie, or I guess the character, because when she
hang on. I feel like you're about to get into spoiler talk.
Not spoiler, but when she like does her thing, she seems like really OP, and it's like, so she just gonna fucking show up and bitch Thanos? Like, you have characters like Thor and Iron Man and Captain America that we've been watching for 10 years earn their spot, and then all of a sudden Captain America is gonna, or Captain Marvel is gonna come in and like punch Thanos in the face and end it all. It's like, I'm just concerned at where it's going. That's all.
Let's leave it there.
I'm excited for Endgame.
Captain Marvel. So custom corner update. We'll start with Jesse's Dr. Manhattan. My wife is working on the head sculpt, and she's painted it about 70% done, and it looks really solid. Jesse was really impressed with it. Just needs a little bit more paint matching, and I think I want Jesse to take a look at it before we go any further. But that's done. And speaking of blue, my Thrawn is finally done. And I could not be happier. I literally could not be happier.
He's done, or he's done for now?
He's done for now. I have one more set of pants coming out. I'm going to try out one more outfit, but I think he's done. So I switched to Eric's head sculpt, which is a Val Kilmer bank robber head sculpt. And
dude, honestly, cannot tell it's supposed to be Val Kilmer.
Yeah, it doesn't.
See, I was a little concerned that it was going to be like really obvious, like the Benedict Cumberbatch. People who have Benedict Cumberbatch as their Thrawn, like, it's just so bad. It's like, it's clearly Benedict. Like, I don't know. I hate it when I see it.
If I owned a restaurant, I would have a plate by the name of that, but it would be eggs on top of cucumbers. Sorry, go ahead.
What? Damn it. Anyway.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good. It took a second for that joke to hit, but that was a good one.
Yeah. Anyway, so when you said you were going to use the Val Kilmer, I was like, oh no, like, it's so obvious that it's going to be a Val Kilmer. But when you got the sculpt unpainted, I was like, oh, like, doesn't really look like Val Kilmer. And then when you painted up blue,
it's certainly not the best likeness.
Yeah. And then when you painted
without
it,
paint.
I was like, oh, like, I don't see Val Kilmer at all.
Yeah, and so
if I didn't know it was Val Kilmer, I would have never guessed.
Yeah, so I'm using a Hot Toys Tarkin body, Yondu hands, the like I mentioned, the Val Kilmer head sculpt, the bank robber with the hair slick back.
Hey, wait, did you say Thanos hands?
No,
Yondu.
I'm just
How
kidding.
much for those motherfuckers?
The Yondu hands?
Yeah.
$25 for the set. It was when he was in stock, but I've had them for like years. I've been sitting on them. I'm using German military boots, a Hot Toys Tarkin belt buckle with the German military belt.
Nice.
I made my own holster. My credit card company sent me like a little thing you stick on your phone. It's like you can put your credit card in there.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, that's stupid. But it was leather, and so I cut the leather into the shape of the holster, and I made it like 20% bigger than the one I had, and it worked out perfectly. I just super glued it closed, and my wife found these really nice little.
My wife.
Okay, Borat. These really nice neck insignia. They were made with a high school graduation little thing, and they're faceted. They look perfect. I don't honestly think I would find anything better. And then Sean from Watto Scrapyard designed these beautiful 3D printed bars here, and he made me a bunch of them, and they were perfect shoulder bars for Thrawn.
So, did you heat those up? Because I noticed they're flat.
Yeah, you heat them up in water, and they basically just curl.
Oh, okay, cool.
They're really thin, but they're actually printed in gold plastic or resin. I'm not sure, but they have like a little bit of a crosshatch texture to them, and they're faceted, and they just look beautiful. And so if you need a set of those, hit up Watto Scrapyard. Like I said, mentioned you're listening to us, they'll give you a deal because these are really awesome, and they're just the perfect thickness, the perfect width, the perfect length, everything.
That's what she said.
Right, I was hoping you'd go there. They are literally perfect. This plus the neck insignia were the things that were trolling me for the longest time, and I finally found a good solution.
Oh my!
Sorry.
It was actually Dean that was sitting next to you at the theater with his cough.
Right?
No, it wasn't. My crack wasn't out.
Ooh. So we
have a story about Dean's crack. Sorry. That'll be another day.
Maybe later in the podcast, once we finish the formal show, maybe you can tell your story on stream. We'll keep it in the podcast of how you got your DJ equipment back when it was stolen.
Dude, that's a badass story.
So let's finish out with what we got. I know last episode
Joshua and the crack story.
Right. I know last podcast we introduced a sort of like what really grinds my gears little tidbit, and I wanted to go for a second week in a row. Why can't people be happy, Dean and Manny? Why? It blows my mind. So Target ships exclusive Funko Pops, and for years people bitch and moan that they get them and there's no packing protection, their pop was ruined, this and that. So lately Target has started really like double boxing with bubble wrap, and everything is super well protected. And you know what, guys? People still complain because people are terrible, and they said they use too much packing protection and their boxes came dented and squished. I hate everyone. Why can't people just be happy? Same thing goes with Will Smith being cast in the Venus and Serena Williams thing. Apparently he's not black enough to play this role. He's too light-skinned.
And then Idris is too black to play.
Exactly. It's just, it blows my mind. Why can't people be happy? I know, Manny, you had mentioned it today, the trailer for Aladdin. I don't know if you did.
That trailer looks badass.
I was kind of worried about this movie because they're releasing Dumbo, they're releasing Lion King, it's Aladdin. I felt like Aladdin was kind of the weaker of the three based on what we've seen thus far, but
no, dude,
expectations are totally changed. Disney just makes bangers. Like,
dude, Disney is going to have an amazing year.
They really are.
They had already
come out too this year, right? They haven't announced it. They haven't said anything for a while, but we got Star Wars too, right?
Yeah, dude. They have Captain Marvel, Star Wars 9, Dumbo, Aladdin, Lion King.
Yeah, Disney's taking your money this
Endgame.
year. Damien says that
Spider-Man.
Jafar upsets him. I think the voice is.
Who's Jafar? I haven't seen it.
He's like,
you haven't seen the trailer?
I guess I haven't.
Ooh,
dude, it's a really good trailer.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
I think maybe because I haven't seen Aladdin in a long time. I don't recall the genie changing colors that often, but he goes from like normal Will Smith to like blue Will Smith and back and forth. So it's going to be interesting to see about that. But
unless all the Will Smith scenes are like in one spot and they're just cutting it up to show you.
That could be very true. That could be very true. Manny's on fire today.
Yeah,
So that's my my grind my gears segment. Why can't people be happy?
Because they're cunts.
So let's talk. Wow.
Well, he's not wrong.
So let's talk about the question of the week from last week. We only had one response, sadly, but it was the figure that you'd like to pose the most.
Right.
Ian, our faithful Sir Ian of Sutton.
Dude, I fucking love this shit out of that guy.
Yeah,
I wish he lives here.
I do too. That'd be awesome.
Or I wish I lived over there.
Ooh. Overseas.
There's no tacos over there.
Cocaine, cheeky fucker.
There's no tacos, I'm sure.
No, there's no tacos.
Dean brings us
a lot of tea.
Oh, they do have a spot of tea
and a pub.
Oh man, Ian called me out hardcore in the listener special. He's like, "Does he think I'm Irish?" And then I was like, "Oh shit, yes. He's right."
It was funny.
I said it again in my head with an Irish accent. I was like, "Oh, that is Irish."
I was watching a British thing on YouTube. It was like the first fast food or whatever, and the guy's talking about these jellied eels, which look disgusting. Ian, I'm sorry, but they look disgusting. And he's like, "Yeah, you got your jellied eels, you got your sauce, you got this." He's like, "You got the full Monty," and I'm like, "Bro, I know those words because of Ian." Anyway, so Ian says
that's the dog's bollocks.
That's the mutts nuts, Ian. He says the figure I like to pose the most is my DX12 Batman. However, I pose that thing, it always looks great. I think it's because the joints are all covered and the material of the suit means it's not as restrictive as it looks. My Anakin is also pretty nice to pose with due to the outfit being cloth. It makes it a lot easier than other figures that are restricted because of the material the suit is made out of. And then, of course, he tells us the British phrase of the week, which is incredible.
Dude, that's what I love about my short trooper. It has the cloth pants. So it could get into some really cool poses. And then it still has, the armor up top. But...
That's what I do when I wear my cloth pants. I can really do a split,
Yeah.
Right, get down low. So let's talk about our question of the week this week. My question of the week this week is actually a question from Dylan from the listener special. He wanted to know what you guys are most excited for this year as in terms of a line that's coming out this year. I'll kick it off. So for me, I'm really excited for McFarlane's Game of Thrones line. It looks insane. Yeah. It literally looked like it could be line of the year, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. Manny, what do you think?
Are you a dentist? Because you took the words out my mouth. I don't know. That was horrible.
Oh, that was awful.
That was horrible.
Dentists don't take words out of your mouth.
I have a feeling that Manny is prepping for a lifetime of bad dad jokes on this podcast. And is there news that you can tell us?
No, not yet.
Getting
I have to time it correctly so it doesn't happen during the wedding. Anyways, I'm with you with the Game of Thrones line, dude. I'm so freaking excited for that.
It looks amazing. Dean, what about you, brother?
Well, didn't he ask in the listener special what figure we were excited about?
Sure, we can go with figure. What figure line?
Okay, because I listened. I'm just saying.
I was there too, Dean.
Well, to answer his original question was figure. And you answered correctly, Obi-Wan.
Hey.
Episode 3, Obi-Wan Hot Toys. But yeah, I'm going to go Game of Thrones. I mean, I'm excited for all the Dragon Ball stuff coming out from Figuarts, but that's not a new line. It just continued. Yeah. So I'm just going to go with Game of Thrones by McFarlane. This shit looks dope.
Not bad. Damien says he's excited for Dooku and Hellboy, so that's cool. Now,
that's true. I forgot about that.
Let's talk about one thing that I really would love to do as we start to wrap things up. I really want to make, I wouldn't say a book, but a guide. A lot of times I get into a hobby, there's someone that wrote a primer, how to build a resin model kit, how to build whatever.
A canoe.
Sure. Why not?
Ron Swanson has one of those books.
Ron Swanson doesn't need
Nick Offerman.
And so I want to put together a sort of a beginner's guide for 1/6 scale collecting.
Wow.
And
you probably shouldn't have said that. Somebody's going to steal your idea. I was going
to say, someone's going to take it.
Well, that's why I'm saying it now, so I could say yo, bro, on March 12th, 9:46 p.m. Central Time. I said it.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you could say that.
So, obviously PJ has already helped us a lot with posing. We did the art of the deal, buying and trading 6 scale. I'm going to put together some ideas on auxiliary and kind of spitball with you guys. But, I don't want it to be something that's going to be 100 pages long. Maybe 10 pages. If you're getting into 6 scale collecting, you can kind of blow through some material real quick. And I think it would be fun. So if you have any ideas on what we can talk about, you guys are literally the worst. What we can talk about on the guide, I think it'd be fun. So Dean and Manny are putting Thanos and Goku's butts in the frame on stream right now. It's quite distracting.
Dude, Thanos,
we're not talking.
Thanos
the one talking.
Thanos has a donk, bro.
That's a donk, dude.
So it's
the
kind
camera
of
can't even keep up.
It's kind of a slow.
It doesn't have that many pixels.
All right, let's settle, guys. So it's kind of a slow news week. So I wanted us to start considering some ideas for the CW Awards. Obviously, we have our most improved company. I think we keep that one. Now, last year we just did a most disappointing figure, but I think maybe this year we split it into two: most disappointing 6-inch and then most disappointing 6 scale. What do you guys think about that?
That's possible.
Possible, Manny. Do you like it? Do you hate it?
Yeah, I mean,
well, Manny doesn't really collect 6-inch, but I guess he will with the Game of Thrones.
True.
Yeah, I nitpick here and there.
I wanted to add a best line overall. I think that'd be a fun category.
Yeah, figure arts, easy.
Then best overall company, which is what we had last year.
Play Arts Kai, done.
HEB.
Oh. Best non-scaled figure, because I think last year we left a lot on the table by limiting it to 6-inch and 6 scale. And then, of course, best 6-inch and best 1/6 scale. So do you guys think of any categories we could add to that, or does that look like the full Monty?
Best statue.
Ooh, that's an excellent idea, Manny.
Yeah, but we don't collect statues.
Ooh, that is true.
But we can't have an opinion on something we don't collect, but it's easier to have a stronger opinion of something you actually use. Or
perhaps Deanie can join us for her expert opinion on the best statue of the year.
That's true. Yeah, she's excited to come back to the show. And
maybe we can have a viewer's choice figure. I think that'd be fun. We can have the viewers limit it to 5 figures, do some voting on Ox.
No, I don't want to hear from them. I'm just kidding.
I'll let them hang for a bit.
Yeah.
I think that's a good start. If you guys have any suggestions for categories, we'll put up a thread on Ox.
Bushy's Beaver Award.
I want us to try to get our ideas settled on the categories probably by like the next month, and that way we can start working on nominations in the back behind the scenes, stuff like that.
Oh, that's true.
So let's do some shout outs. Of course, 6 Scale Scavengers, Brian and Chris. Damien is on the chat right now. He's been on there all night. We appreciate that.
What a guy.
Damien is actually driving like super far round trip to be on a podcast next episode. I'm pretty sure it's next episode. So Damien, we are super excited to have you. Jesse's going to be back next week. And I think, if I remember correctly, Seth is going to join us next week. He's going to be back from vacation. It's going to be a nice little cast and crew for next week. Want to also give a shout out to Sean from Watto Scrapyard. Check him out on Facebook.
Sean is an awesome guy.
Yeah, he made us these wonderful keychains. It was legitimately.
Is he the one that thought I hated Batman?
I don't recall.
He was the last.
No, that was Dylan.
Oh, someone thought I hated Batman, and I was like, I hate Batman. Dude, those are so cool.
Yeah, I got to give you guys these keychains when I see you. And then, do you guys have any shout outs that you wanted to give?
Ian, just for being one hell of a dude.
One hell of a bloke. The mutt's nuts, that man. Mutt's nuts.
Yeah, he's awesome. I really like that guy.
Manny, what about you, man?
Yeah, shout out Ian. Also, shout out to my little bro Josh. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but
what up, Josh?
Yeah, dude, we have a story. Like, it was me, Dean, and my brother Josh. When I said about Dean's crack, but I'll tell you guys off air. It was hilarious. Ooh. I don't know if Dean remembers.
Now, I also wanted to give
I don't remember.
Oh.
I also wanted to give a shout out to my daughter. She turns 2 on Saturday. I'm super excited for that.
Dude, don't shout her out. She's not even in the chat.
She is in the next room, eagerly awaiting my arrival. She is the best kid a dad could ever ask for, and I'm super proud to be her father. Wow. And, of course, to my wonderful wife for letting me get this T-Rex, because it is dope.
Yeah, and then I'll have a new this week, next week, right? Buddy?
Yeah, because Dean is helping fund this purchase. Now, there's one thing that we might do on Ox. It just depends on how things go locally, but I might be waffling off my one-to-one, actually, my Darth Vader helmet on the auxiliary group for $10 a spot.
Dude,
what if it doesn't fill up locally? I know Seth just bought a bunch of spots, but if
Manny, what did you say?
What if Ian wins? He's gonna have to ship that big ass box.
I'll probably limit it to the United States only because it's I get anxiety shipping a head sculpt overseas, let alone a full scale.
I just see him with a big old box.
My knees all shaking.
Yeah.
So,
A little bit of
that's
urine on the pants.
it for the episode. I think Dean was going to share one more story, but as far as actual collecting, that's going to be it for this episode. But we really appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah.
If you want to hear this amazing story, it's going to happen right now. So, Dean, the floor is all yours. If you're not going to listen, we'll catch you guys next Tuesday. We're hopefully going to do an in-person podcast next Tuesday. But Dean, tell us about the story of how you recovered your lost goods.
Yeah, so if you don't know, I DJ on the side. It's good money. And at the time, I was DJing like 2 or 3 times a week. So I would keep most of my equipment in my car.
An idiot.
Yes. No, 100%. But it was like just easier that way, I guess.
Yeah, I feel you.
And so I would leave my 2 turntables and my mixer in my trunk.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't see it. Never would have guessed it was there. Well, I was at work one day and I went to lunch. I came back and I needed to use my car to go pick up a driver. So I get in my car and my dashboard is like falling over. And I'm like, oh my God, did it get so hot?
But you mean like the dashboard came off of the
sorry.
Yeah, like the thing that holds the stereo in was like falling forward. Yeah. So I was like, oh damn, did the glue come undone? Like, because it was hot as shit and I parked like right in the sun. And I go to move it and I notice it's bent. But my stereo is still there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, did someone try to steal my stereo? And I was like, well, they didn't steal it, fucking morons. And then I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh no, my DJ stuff is in here. So I jump out, pop my trunk, it's gone. My stomach just fucking.
And this is dropped. A lot of money, obviously.
Yeah, so I call the police. They show up. They take fingerprints. There's none. I call my boss. I'm like, hey, do we have video? He's like, yeah, we have video. So I still have the video, actually.
Ooh, post it on us, bro.
And they're like, well, here's a form. Fill out everything they took in a dollar amount. So I'm like, all right. They take off. I fill it out. It's my 2 turntables, the needles, the cartridges, the vinyl, the slip mats, the cases, my mixer and its case. So it was right under like $3,000 or $4,000.
No, but bro, I can get you a pack of needles at Hobby Lobby for like $2.
Yeah, no,
Manny, you're overpaying for needles. Just kidding.
No, he's underpaying for needles.
Let me tell you.
If you want good needles, you gotta pay for them. But anyway, so I turn the paperwork in, or I go home, I get all my serial numbers, and I fill out all the paperwork. I turn it in on Monday morning because this was a Saturday afternoon. Turn my stuff in on Monday morning to the police department. And this is actually how collecting saved me. So
yeah, let's try to round this out to collecting, because I think I know where you're going with this, but I think we could actually provide a valuable lesson here.
Yeah, so it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, I kept looking on Craigslist. Like maybe it'll pop up. I was calling pawn shops, like, hey, has this stuff come in? And pawn shops were no help. They're like, we can't give you that information. I'm like, those are asses. But anyway, so on the Alamo Stash Bin, shout out the Stash Bin, where we all really met. Somebody put in like, oh, I got this really good deal on OfferUp, and I was like, what the fuck is OfferUp? I look it up. It's a buying and selling app. If you don't know what it is, it's like Craigslist, but you do everything in the app. So you communicate and like meet up.
You said it was OfferUp?
Yeah.
I got a bone to pick with OfferUp, but we'll talk about it another day. Yeah.
So instead of like a stranger having your email or your phone number, it's all in the app. So they don't have to text you. They could just message you in the app. You have a profile and stuff. So I was like, well, shit, let me check it out. So I download OfferUp. I'm in my car. It's like Thursday afternoon. I type in DJ equipment, scroll, boom, there's my stuff. The morons left all my stickers on there. I have 2 Supreme stickers on the front of my turntables, and then there's a brand called the Hundreds. The little logo is a bomb that's exploding, and I put them on my vinyl, like as a custom record label. And I was like, "There's my shit," and they wanted $800 for it, which is insane. And I was like, "Shit, there's no way this stuff is still here. $800 is nothing." One of my turntables was $800. So I call the police. I'm like, "Hey, I found my stuff." And the guy's like, "Cool. Like, call him and we'll set up a sting operation." And I was like, "Cool." He's like, "Call me back when you get something." I was like, "All right." They don't say anything all day. And I was like, "Oh my God, they know it's me." I like made a fake profile and like put like fake stuff for
Didn't
sale.
you use some of Manny's pics?
Yeah, I used Manny's Iron Man that he was selling. Your Iron Man pop?
The Mark 42 unmasked.
Yeah, I put that on there for like $300 because I was like, I don't want anything.
Somebody's messaging you still. They're like, "Bro, I need that pop."
Right.
Like your message, bro?
Yeah, I don't know that. I deleted that profile.
I'll tell my offer-up story after this, but yeah.
So the next day rolls around, and I was like getting really anxious and really pissed off. And so I messaged them like, "Hey, is this still available or not? Because I'll buy something else." And they messaged me back right away like, "No, it's still available." I'm like, "Okay, well, like it's a good price, but like I'm at work for like the rest of the day. Like, can I come by after?" They're like, "Yeah, that's fine." And I was like, "All right, I just want to see it at least turn on." And they're like, "Yeah, not a problem," which is bullshit because I had all the power cords. So I call the cops, and the guy picks up the phone, and I'm like, "Hey, my stuff was stolen, and I was told to give you guys a call when I got some information." And the guy was kind of like, "Oh, well, like the guy in charge isn't here. When he gets back, we get assigned a detective to your case, and we can help you look for it." And I was like, "No, man, I found it." He's like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "I found it on this app. I have pictures and all my serial numbers turned into y'all, pictures of it in my possession, video of him stealing it, and now screenshots of them selling it on OfferUp." And he's like, "Holy shit." He's like, "Get down here right now." So I call my boss, and he's like, "Yeah, take off." So I drive to the police station. I have the address to their house where they are going to show me the stuff. And he's like, "All right, follow me over there." So we go to a parking lot. I won't say where it is. And he calls for backup. Backup shows up. They all know my dad because my dad was SAPD. So now like I really have them on my side. And they're like, "Wait right here and we'll be right back." So they take off. And he was like, "Well, we don't have a warrant, so we kind of got to play it by ear." And I was like, "Shit, okay. Well, now I'm freaking out because if they can't get in the house, now I've tipped them off and my stuff will be gone." You know what I mean? Like, they'll know that cops are looking for it, so they'll either like give it to somebody else or pawn it or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like freaking out, and I was like, I need to like watch some stand-up comedy to like calm my nerves. So I like pull out my phone and I type in like stand-up comedy, and I'm like searching for
generic.
a video, and before I like can click on a video, my phone rings and it's the detective. He's like, "Hey man, is this is your stuff?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "There's nothing else?" And I was like, "No, sir." He's like, "All right, I got it. The guy's in handcuffs. We've arrested him. I'll meet you back at the police station." So I drive to the police station. The detective pulls up, hands me my cases. He signs off, or we sign like a thing saying that I got my items back.
Mm-hmm.
I drive to work, finish my work day, and I'm DJing Friday night.
Amazing.
So from Saturday afternoon to Friday night, I tracked down and got my shit back.
And San Antonio is not a small city. If you don't know, like, we got a fuckload of people in San Antonio. That's no easy feat.
No, yeah, I was probably one of my proudest moments, and it's really cool because my dad was a detective, so I'm like, it's in my blood.
Take after the old man, eh?
That's why I call him Double D, Detective Dean.
Yeah, that's why.
He's also. Anyways, so yeah, I've tried using OfferUp to sell my Vader helmet, and
oh yeah,
2 minutes after I posted it, this guy's like, "Yo, I want to buy it," and I said, "Okay, cool. Well, let me know when you want to meet up. I got the box, got the papers, certificate of authenticity, all that stuff." Haven't heard from him since. That was 2 days ago.
Jeez.
So that's why we're trying the waffle. Let's see if that works. But speaking of certificate of authenticities, before we kick it off, I say everything really fast. The Sebastian Shaw COAs look dope.
Yeah.
Now, I really wanted an air of class with our group buy, and I really think we nailed it. They look awesome. They say who designed the 3D print, who printed them, why they were commissioned. Got the auxiliary exclusive on the bottom left, the CW logo that Manny made on the right. Then Manny gave us like a faded out Collecting Weekly logo, which looks really badass. And everyone is numbered. So Dean, I got number 00, which was the master, and I also got number 11, which is the last of the run. Dean, you wanted the first of the run, so you have 01. And Manny, being my number 2 co-host on the podcast, you got number 02. So congratulations, guys! I'm really excited.
Shout out to Don.
I'm really excited for you guys to get yours. And my wife got a little. I don't even know what it's for. It's like a little picture frame that's like 2 inches by 3 inches. I don't know why anyone would have a picture that small, but it's it fits the certificate perfectly. I know
wallet for the wallet prints.
Oh, maybe. I'll try to see if I can get you one. My wife said that was the last one there, but it was just like $1.
Shout out to Don. He's in the chat right now.
Yeah, what up, Don? We need you to come back, buddy. You can join us whenever you want.
You can go to Michael's and get a frame that doesn't have like a border. It's pretty cool.
Ooh, I might have to check that out too.
Yeah. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say with Google Hangouts, he could have joined this episode, but.
Ooh, true, but he didn't. Don.
Let's just talk about it.
Anyway, if it wasn't for the collecting.
Oh, you have a booger,
if it wasn't for Adon
Dean, you have a booger.
Me to the stash bin. Sorry. If it wasn't for Adon adding me to the stash bin, I wouldn't have heard of OfferUp. I wouldn't have got my stuff back. So shout out Adon again.
Butterfly Effect Part 2. Anyways, guys, I'm Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Manuel.
Thanks for listening to this episode. We'll catch you guys next Wednesday on the Flippity Flop for our new episode of Collecting Weekly.
Who says Flippity Flop?
Michael Scott when he's leaving the office.
Oh,
Flippity Flip.
I think he says both. Anyways, guys, have a good one. We'll catch you later. We're going to stay on stream for a few more minutes, but you guys are beautiful people, all of you. And if you supported the group buy, you have a 1 in 11 of all the whole world of Sebastian Shaw head sculpts that are dope. So congrats to you.
Bye.
Adios.
Mate.
Good podcast, guys. That actually did not work out too bad once we got the text.
How long was that?
Killed me, bro.
82 minutes, so an hour and 22.
Cool.
I thought it was going to be a short one. I was like, God damn, we're burning through the show.
Dude, so one time, me, Joshua, my brother, and
we're still on stream, by the way, just so you know.
It's all right.
Yeah.
They can know. Dean was like, "Hey, do you guys want to go with me? I have a lot."
I think I know this story actually
from this white guy. So, like, do you remember that, Dean? When we went, we stayed in the car and you went outside to like the guy's garage or whatever. Anyway, oh shoot, my battery's gonna die. Anyways, as soon as Dean gets out, I guess like his shorts are low, so my brother's in the back, and all I hear him is he just goes, "Ugh!" And Dean's like shorts were like halfway off, and Dean like quickly grabbed the shorts and he yanked them up. It was the funniest thing in the world.
That's when I had that shitty little Pontiac, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I hated that thing.
Oh.
What were we doing?
We were picking up a Star Wars lot. from like this.
Oh, yeah. The guy in his garage. Dude, that's so weird. I was in his neighborhood today, and I was like, I wonder what that guy's up to, because he told me he was moving to Japan.
What a creep.
There's no way I could get in contact with him. But that's weird. That's kind of serendipitous that you bring that up.
Yeah, dude.
Also, fuck you and your brother.
Hey, wear bigger pants.
Dude, I miss your brother. Where's he at? Is he so
dude, we've been hanging out a lot more. Yeah, he's been yeah, we just hang out more, you know. Come over sometime. No. Come over sometime. You can check this guy out.
Dude, I thought we were gonna meet up at Zach's house. I thought you were gonna bring him. I was all excited, and then this fucking Google Hangout shit. Although this was really nice, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's like not having to travel.
Let's hear the quality. I'm just worried because I know Jesse's circumstances.
Oh, I thought you said Jesse's circumcised.
It could be. He could be. Maybe.
Actually, he might not be. He's not from here.
No, I think that dude's hooding because he wears a hoodie all the time.
Oh, that was brutal. Wait, guys. So, what should the episode be called? The dog's
hoodie.
The mutt's nuts. What do you guys think?
The uncircumcised bunch.
The cat's pajamas.
Detective Dean, maybe?
The high blood pressures.
International shipping, maybe?
Dude, Detective Dean sounds dope, and I'll make like a little thing with like a badge and stuff.
Yes, that sounds dope. All right.
Can I pick my badge number?
Yes.
15.
15. Oh.
2112.
Huh?
What's 2112?
That's my dad's badge number.
Nice. Dean, speaking of cop stuff, we should build that Deckard police car soon.
Dude, fuck yes, I'm down AF.
We should get Nama too. Wait, what?
Who's
about
Mama?
What?
Momo?
You just said you're so pissed about what?
Yeah, wait, what did you say really quick? Who's Mama?
I said we should also get Nama when we build it.
Oh, hell yeah, dog.
Dude, it was cheap as fuck.
Ew.
I was shocked.
Did that scare you?
No, show me the post office again. That'll scare me. Oh.
No, so I have my Mercari app that I buy stuff off of all the time.
Uh-huh.
And I don't remember what my save search is, but someone put up let me see if I can find it.
Huh?
Someone put up a Ryan Gosling 6-scale figure.
For Drive?
No, it was just like a generic, but it was like a decent likeness, and they only wanted $50 for it, and it sold. I don't remember what the save search was. 3-0 maybe? Yeah. Oh, can you see this?
That looks really bad. I have that sculpt actually.
Oh, do you?
I think I do.
Hey, I really like going over to your house, but I think this is a really good second option.
We should listen to it, but I just would really feel bad if Jesse can't join because of his circumstances.
Well, next week?
Oh, he started cooking.
Yeah, I was like, bro, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's his fault.
You can't go sit on your bed or something? Anyways, guys, help me fill this waffle. Buy more spots if you want. But, all right, guys, so that's it for stream. We appreciate you guys joining. Detective Dean sounds like an amazing episode name. So we will examine this footage and see how we're going to proceed with Collecting Weekly in the future.
Keep that circumcised part and, like, put it in there somewhere, like in the beginning or something. That'd be hilarious.
I'm not editing that much. All right, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, bye.
Bye.